What's up, you guys? This is MoolaMachin. Today I'm gonna be showing you a crazy gold strategy that you can use to improve your profitability. So without further ado, I'm on my trading view. I'm just gonna show you guys how to set up the two indicators that I use to make my life easy, so that I don't have to waste so much time analyzing. So let's just add a few indicators and then I'll show you a few quick tests. So the first indicators is gonna be sessions by Lax Algo. As you can see, there's that one on the list. I'm gonna load that on my charts, and then the second indicator I'm gonna use is the supports resistance by Lax Algo too. So those are the two indicators that I'm gonna install on my charts. So yeah, let's go back to the charts and see the setup we have. Sorry for the ads, I'm using the free version. Okay, what you're gonna need to do is go on your session settings. We're gonna unclick Tokyo session and also Sydney. We don't need them since we're trading the strategy on the London and the New York session. And as for the support resistance, you can edit it if you want to change the colors or anything, but I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. So yeah guys, this is how the strategy works. We're gonna trade a simple breakout strategy and we're gonna take a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Now let me show you the example. So this was Wednesday. I just picked a random days here. As you can see, this was Wednesday, so today's trade was gonna be simple. The first rule of the trade is that you have to wait for the London session to start before you look for entries. So you only trade within the London session or the New York session. That's why you take your entries. So as you can see here, we got the markings here. Our indicators is marking like the previous supports and the resistance structures, as you can see. So on the London session, we opened around there. You saw the market played around, created this mini resistance, and then this support structures here, and then eventually we broke above the resistance. So that was our signal for us to buy, right? Because when we break above the resistance, that means the market is buying. So that's why you take your trade after a clear close above the resistance, and then you go for your previous support area, which was gonna be that area right there, and then you take your 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Don't force it, guys. I always take my 1-to-1s and it works very well. Now my other rule is on a stop loss, I like to keep my stop loss a little bit below than the support. For example, here I was gonna put it at least here, maybe 10 pips below, to make sure that I don't get wigged out. But I'm still gonna use like the same TP as you see here. It's gonna make sense when you trade it, because I know that most of the time I'm gonna hit my TP, So this was gonna be the next day, on Thursday. As you can see, the market opened here on our London session. That's where we start looking for trades. We had a break below. The market broke below the structure here, which was indicating us to take a sell entry. So you were going to enter here your sell entry, and then your stop loss is supposed to be above your resistance, as you can see, and then you try to take your 1-to-1. Like I said, as you can see here, there was going to be a W day. Simple in and out, guys. Make sure you backset this strategy on your own so that you can maybe tweak the rules to your liking and trade the way you want it. But the only thing I'm showing you here is how many times you are going to hit take profit before, compared to how you're gonna hit stop losses, obviously. So this was gonna be a tricky trade, but like I said before on the previous example, I did talk about keeping my stop losses, creating room for the market to react around the support or the resistance area, depending on which direction I'm taking. Anyway, guys, if you're still here and you're enjoying the content, please make sure to like and subscribe there so that you're gonna get notification every time I'm dropping new strategies and a new video. Yeah, so this is gonna be a setup on it was gonna be a Friday setup here. As you can see there, the market played around. We opened London session, we're on a consolidation, as you can see, and then eventually we broke above here. This is where we broke above. You can see a clear close there above that resistance. So normally what I like to do when I have like a resistance, you can see I have a resistance here and also a next one and another one closer to it, right? So my rule is I have to wait for the market to close above this resistance, then I can be sure that okay, the market really is pushing towards that certain direction, right? Like for example there, if I was looking for sales, I was gonna wait for the market to say like break below this support, not this one. As you can see, we did have a small clear close there, but there was not gonna be the entry since we still have another support there. So yeah, guys, that's it. Okay, on this day we're gonna take buys on that reason, but our buy setup was gonna be like this. Let me show you. According to the rules, this is where you buy on the second resistance, so we're going to have a clear close day. That was gonna be our clear close. We take a stop loss underneath that support there, and we try to look for a 1-to-1. Let's see. If I was just trying to show you guys that I want my setup to win, I was gonna tweak the rules there, but you can see there it was gonna be a W day, but this trade was gonna have overlap. You're going to hold over the weekend, obviously, and then get your profit here on Monday. Okay, let's do another example. Here's another example we have here. You see the London session opened there, the market was trickling, but also you see the example I just told you. We have this resistance here, and then the market created this one. We're not gonna use this one. We're gonna wait for the market to cross above this one, and then now we are clear and confident that okay, the market is moving into that direction, right? So our setup on this day was gonna be as simple as this buy here. You see the market closed above there, so that's when we take the buys. We put our stop loss below the support there, and we try to go for a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Don't be greedy, guys. Make sure you take your 1-to-1 and just get out. This is the strategy that I use every day on my live chats, on my live stream, obviously on this channel. If you would like to trade with me, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I trade live every day. I trade this strategy for free. Okay, so Monday was also gonna be a winning trade. Let me see if I can find a losing trade so I can show you how to handle it when you actually take losses. Okay, I think this is an example. We found it. Okay, so on Tuesday, this was gonna be the London Open, right? The market played around creating all those resistance. Okay, this I mean, this example is not gonna count because we had a resistance there at the top and the market created this one, and they are closer to each other. So obviously, like I explained on the rule, we're going to wait for the market to break the higher resistance before we take the trade. So we're not gonna take the buys there. Obviously, we were going to go for sales. As you can see, around the New York session, the market did break below there. There was a clear close below. We take our stop loss, we put it above there, above that resistance. We try and go for 1-to-1. As you can see already now, this was gonna be a simple in and out trade. We are not even going to hold it for like that's not even an hour trade. It's a simple in and out. You see, when you simplify your trading, you're gonna get much simpler and clean results. So let's go on. I think this is gonna be a last example, guys, and I think it's one of those examples that actually have the losses. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, guys. Anyway, you're gonna keep backtesting this strategy on your own and do some forward testing. Test it on your demo before you trade it on a real account, guys. And those that wanna trade with me, make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're gonna get notifications every time I'm going live, because I go live every day to trade this exact strategy that I'm showing you guys. So that's why it's also gonna be a W. We didn't use this resistance here because obviously of the reason that I said. I keep my stop losses a little bit above the resistance or below the support depending on which direction I'm going. And also here you see we had this resistance, right? But we also had this one at the top, hence we didn't change direction when we closed above here because we are using this resistance. So this was just an invalid trade, we're still holding our sale here. So that resulted in a W trade. Let me do a last example. Maybe I'm gonna get a loss and show you guys how to handle it. Yeah. So on this day, this was gonna be a very tricky day. We're going to have a buy there. I'm just trying to show you guys this strategy is not gonna win every day, but if I'm being honest with you, I do remember this trade. I was on this trade and it did end up being a profitable trade for me, simply because of the rule that I made. I do have my stop losses at least 10 pips below because I take minimum risk. But if let's say maybe you were not using my rules, you were just using the simple tight stop losses, you are gonna take a buy there and eventually get closed off, right? And the market was gonna tell you that, you know what, we are going for sales. If you are keen, you are going to go for sales, right? And you are going to put your stop loss there and obviously immediately get stopped out again. But when you take the dead trade, you recover. This was gonna be your buys there. You put the stop loss there, you go for 1 to 1. See, most of the time you're not gonna take a trade here. Every time, most of the time for me, when I take a trade, I lose. The next trade is obviously a W, but there are some scenarios like this one, But like I said, for me, my stop loss on this first trade was at least around there. I was watching the market, just like I wanted a clear close before I was gonna change direction. Plus, I knew that gold is mostly bullish for the next couple of years. So yeah, that's why this trade was a W for me. I'm just gonna take a next example, guys, and close off the video. I'm pretty sure I've already took too long. So this was gonna be a Monday trade. A Monday trade, this is a simple one. The London opens, as you can see, the market opens, it trickles, it creates our resistance there, and then eventually it creates our support, right? It trickles, closes below. We aren't gonna take this trade there because we have this support here. So we're still just sitting on our hands, and then boom, eventually here's the trade. But this setup is different now because we have this resistance there. So this was gonna be a simple setup. We are going to enter sales there based on the fact that we just crossed below that resistance, which is the new one, as you all can sell, and then we now have the new resistance, simple 1 to 1. Anyway, guys, thank you. This is MoolaMachine. Keep on practicing this strategy on your own, guys, and make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can trade live with me and you can get notifications every time I drop the videos. Thank you, guys. Thank you.